You've probably pictured what a high IQ looks like: confident, loud in the right rooms, first with the answer before anyone's finished the question. Psychology says the opposite is usually true. Researchers keep finding the same patterns in people with extremely high IQ, and most of them don't look like intelligence at all. Some of them look like the opposite. Here are 8 signs psychology consistently finds in people with extremely high IQ. Stick around for the last one. It's the one that quietly explains all the others. Sign 1. They spend more time alone than most people expect. Not because they dislike company, because their mind doesn't stop processing, and a crowded room is expensive to run on. Research from the London School of Economics found that people with higher intelligence report lower satisfaction from frequent socializing than everyone else. They don't recharge in the room, they recharge in the quiet after it. Sign 2. Their mind doesn't have an off switch. At 3 in the morning, it's still replaying a conversation from days ago, looking for the sentence that should have been said instead. Psychologist Kazimierz Dabrowski called this psychomotor overexcitability, a restlessness that lives in the mind rather than the body. It isn't insomnia, it's a brain that never learned how to idle. Sign 3. They feel things harder than they let on. A stranger's small kindness can undo them for a moment. An injustice on the news sits in their chest for days. Everyone assumes a sharp mind runs cold. The research says the opposite. Higher IQ correlates with more emotional reactivity, not less, especially toward art, morality, and other people's pain. They've just gotten very good at holding it quietly. Sign 4. They're comfortable saying, "I don't know," and they mean it. Not modesty, precision. The less someone actually understands a subject, the more confident they usually sound about it. Psychology calls this the Dunning-Kruger effect. The deeper someone goes into a subject, the more exceptions they find, the more edges that don't fit the theory. "I'm not sure" isn't hesitation. It's often the most honest sentence in the room. Sign 5. Alone, with no audience and nothing at stake, they'll argue against their own opinion just to see if it survives. Most people spend their private thoughts defending what they already believe. They spend theirs trying to break it. If it survives the attack, they trust it. If it doesn't, nobody ever has to know. Sign 6. In most rooms, they're listening longer than they're talking. Not because they have nothing to say, but because they're reading what's happening underneath the conversation before adding to it. Who's actually upset? What the real question is. By the time they speak, they've usually already run the scene twice in their head. The silence gets mistaken for having nothing to contribute. It's actually where most of the work happens. Sign 7. The projects that matter to them most are somehow the hardest to start. Small, low-stakes tasks get finished in minutes. The work that could actually mean something sits untouched for weeks. It isn't laziness. Before a single word is written, they can already see every way the finished thing might fall short of what they pictured. The fear isn't failure. It's the gap between the version in their head and whatever they're actually capable of putting on the page. And sign 8 is the quiet thread running under all the others. Underneath the solitude, the mind that won't stop, the depth nobody sees, there's a persistent, low-grade sense of not quite fitting. Not dramatic, not a diagnosis, just a mild awareness of being slightly out of sync with whatever room they're standing in. It isn't something broken. It's what happens when a mind processes more, feels more, and needs more depth than most environments are built to offer. The world runs at one resolution. Some people are just seeing it at a higher one, and some days That's simply heavier to carry. If a few of these sounded familiar, you're not imagining it. Tell us which one hit hardest. I read every comment.